Greetings, I'm Epiktek, and this is epiktek, and we're moving up there today. But the very first thing we're going to do is build ourselves a reactor. We're going to need power for all the machines and crazy contraptions we put up there, so let's get into that right away. Now, I've already prepared a few of the items we're going to need. Graphite bars are made from putting coal in, well, any kind of oven. Just cook it, just cook it. Yellorium is made from that yellorite ore, and I realized I ground all of it up, didn't leave any to show you, but we'll probably find some later. So I ran it through the sag mill and then took the dust and cooked it, and now we've got it. And occasionally make some of this cyanite, which right now is not useful. So we're going to grab, I know we're going to need a little bit of redstone and a lot of iron. And here are the things that we're going to need. This mod is called Extreme Reactors. So this is all the items in the mod. And it's actually simpler than it seems, just in case you're wondering. Some of this stuff, I have no idea what it does. But hey, we don't need them for the basics. So let's start with some reactor casings. We're going to need a ton of these. And they're each going to require this reactor casing core. By the way, everything that says legacy in parentheses, what they mean is because this is a rebuild of an older mod called Big Reactors, the new author intends to make some new things, but he hasn't made them yet. And he only has the legacy stuff in here. He's kind of added in some stuff, but it's really not useful yet. And so everything you see that says legacy just means it's the old way of doing it, but there is no new way of doing it. Took me a while to figure that out. I was looking all over for what's the new way. There is no new way. So let's make some reactor casing cores. Graphite bars, gold ingots, redstone, iron. We didn't grab any gold. I need gold. All right. How many of these? I can make 16 of these. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to need all 16. So we'll start with that. Now, I'm not going to need 16 times 4 of these guys, but I am going to need a fair amount of them. Probably need more of those in a second, but I don't want to go too crazy. So every reactor is going to be built, it's a multi-block, and it's going to be built out of reactor casings and then some control and whatnot blocks. I have kind of an early game design, and then I have later game designs, and what I'll end up doing is starting with a small reactor and expanding it as we go along. My small reactor requires 4 reactor fuel rods, so we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. 2 reactor control rods, so grab 2 of those. The reactor controller, which is the kind of the center of this whole thing, and we need a diamond for that. Go. We need a way to get power in and out, or out. We don't need to get power in. So that is the reactor redstone flux power tap. We're going to need a way to put fuel in. So that's the reactor access port. We're going to need a piston for that. There we go. And then I'm going to need at least 32 reactor casings just for the outer edge. More iron. Lots and lots of iron. So that's 32. But I know I'm going to need some more on the sides. Let's go ahead and just get everything for what I have. There we go. That's 40. I think that'll at least get us close. And we might have to come back and grab a few extras, but I don't want to waste too much. Then we're going to need a coolant. And there's lots of different options for coolants. Let's start off with something very, very basic, and let's just use water. So I'm going to bring... I think I'm just going to bring 2 buckets of water, and I'll make myself an infinite pool up there. And let's head up in the daytime. And here we are. Okay. So I'm curious, is there like a center point? I wouldn't mind having my reactor really just be the center of this. There isn't so much a center. It's kind of like a pointy thing. So maybe I'll make this back area here the reactor. This reactor mod does not have any concern over, like, exploding randomly or anything like that. So we don't have to worry about keeping it away from our base, any of that kind of thing. Yeah, that should be good. We'll do that. So the bottom is just going to be solid reactor casings. And then we need corners. And the one that I like to make is 4 by 4 by 4. So if you include the bottom, this is what we're looking at. And I am definitely going to run out of casings. That's okay. The way this is done is you need a reactor control rod on top of rods. And you can actually just build this as a 3 by 3 and have a single rod in the middle. But I like to do it this way because it gives us some room for coolant, which improves the capabilities of this reactor. So this ends up being a really good first reactor. Now, if you desperately need power and you cannot get anywhere close to this amount of materials, then you can have a reactor with just a single center point. So it'd be 3 by 3 by 3. The reactor controller, I'm going to put right here. And we'll go ahead and we'll put the access port, this is where fuel goes in and out, directly underneath it. And then we'll have all of the power come out right here. Actually, no. I'm going to have the power come out the top, and then I can run all my wires that way. There we go. And then what we're going to do, I don't want to do it right now, but what we're going to do is put water in those spaces up and there and there. You know what I didn't think about? Would snow be a good coolant? I've never tried snow as a coolant, but it sure seems like a good idea, doesn't it? That? We're going to have to try that out. Actually, I'm going to take those out. We'll do a little bit of testing. And by the way, you can make reactor glass by simply surrounding reactor casings with glass. So, pretty easy. Okay, reactor glass. And I actually have a crazy idea. I'm going to remove that water. It's not a crazy idea. It's just an idea. As soon as you put that last piece in, it reevaluates and realizes, hey, I'm a reactor. So then we can use this reactor controller to hop in here and see what we've got. Now, this looks a little overwhelming if you've never played this before, but trust me, this is actually a very simple reactor mod. Some of them go overboard, in my opinion. So right now, we've got ourselves this thing for auto-eject or don't auto-eject waste, because as it runs through the Yellorium, it'll actually put out waste, and then the waste can be refined and put back in as more fuel. So we'll get to that later. Then we've got a way to turn it on and off. So now if we turn it on right now, nothing's going to happen. There's no fuel in it. So this right here, this reactor access port, that's where we put fuel in. So we'll just dump as much as we can in there. So now you can see that these reactor rods are actually filled. And if we go back into the reactor controller, we can see now that the fuel is 100% full, and we can turn this thing on. And immediately it starts snowing. That's unrelated. So you can see that we're putting out 1,000 ticks per second. Sorry. Wow. 1,000 RF per tick. And it's running at 1188 C. That's really hot. Now, it's not going to explode, so you don't have to worry about that. And we're using 0.11 millibuckets per tick. And we can actually see the fuel going down and the waste going up. So this is not very efficient. I'm going to turn this off. And it'll drop kind of over time. And then when it gets down to a reasonable temperature, this will go to 0. And it'll stop using fuel. But it has an internal energy buffer, so we're still holding the energy we generated. So let's try this again, but let's try it with water in this space. And now we have ice instead of water. Cool. I didn't think about that. Well, let's melt that ice. Or maybe we should try it with snow. I mean, I've got plenty of that. Okay. And then the question here is going to be, will it even count that? Ah, it did. Nice. Okay. So let's fire it right back up again and see what we're generating. I don't know about you, but that seems to be about the same. Just off the top of my head, I'm not seeing a massive difference, but I didn't write down these numbers. So I'll tell you on the bottom of the screen what the actual difference was with snow versus nothing. Let's go ahead and get the snow out of there. I already know what we're going to use eventually. But I kind of wanted to do some testing and see what other options there are. So the tricky thing with water is that you kind of have to get that in there and put it in before you get flowed away. There we go. Let's go see how water does. All right, turning that on. And we're getting, well, we're getting more than we did with snow. So water is better than snow, which is a little strange to me. I wonder if snow is just counted as nothing. I just didn't recognize it. An odd thing to think, but okay. So it turns out that manolin is actually one of the best blocks you can have as the core. Now, there are other things that are better, but a lot of them are a lot further off for us. We're not going to be able to do those for a little while. But for right now, we've got access to plenty of ardite and cobalt, which means we can make plenty of manolin, and away we go. And we only need 4 blocks of manolin. Now, if you don't have access to the nether, there are some other options, and there's a whole bunch of them online where people have kind of compared different blocks and how they'll work as the coolant or heat transfer block. And things like blocks of diamonds and blocks of emeralds also work really well. So, since our power situation is just about to be ready to go, let's get these guys moved. I guess I don't need to remove those, but I will anyway. I think I'll leave this culinary generator down here. And if I need to do something down here, I'll have it. All right, manolin, 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 glass and glass, and let's see what kind of difference we get. Now, I'd say that's pretty darn good. 1.4 kRF per tick. That's a lot more than we were getting off of anything else. So we'll shut this down for now. The next thing we're going to need is actually a way to get the power out of that guy and into these machines. And we also need to decide where we want these machines to be. I'm thinking I kind of want my workshop to be over on this side. So we'll need to run some wires from there to here, but we don't have access to wires yet, so we need to think about that. And I want it to be nighttime. Wait, daytime. That's what I want. So I think I wouldn't mind getting rid of this top layer here. Is this how I want my top to be? Yeah. And I think I'll have the main floor hang over a little bit. I'm going to need a lot more cobble. I'm not actually sure I want to use cobble as the floor, but kind of laying it out that way. It's just a kind of a quick way to template and get an idea. Oh, well, that's all the cobble I had. I'm thinking something like that. But we're going to need to actually get some things set up. What if I do... I think for now I'm just going to go ahead and... Okay. What is going on there? Interesting. I think that's showing the interfaces. Like which is in and out and that kind of thing. I've never seen that before, though. Is that a bug? That is really strange. Well, I like to have the sag mill on the left. For now, we'll just leave it as is. I'm not going to worry about it. In the storage drawers mod, there is something called packing tape. For 3 paper and a ball of slime, which we have plenty of, we can make packing tape. And packing tape is pretty cool. You do like this. So there is a limited amount of it, but perfect. That's exactly how many I needed. But now when I break these, they're actually going to have all of their containers, stuff within. So now instead of having to carry 10 stacks of cobblestone plus the drawer itself, I just have it all packed within. Cool, huh? Now all the food stuff is going to stay. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up with me. Oh, a bowl. But everything else, all the other food stuff will stay down here. So let's set out some more moving boxes. I'm going to need that guy. I'll take this. I want this. And I ran out of space. Okay, that one's full. No, don't put my Ring of the Flying Squid in there. We'll pull all the metals out of the smeltery and we'll take it up with us as well. The combination of wooden storage crates and the golden bag of holding is kind of ridiculous. Just saying. I love it. And by the way, these pattern chests and those kind of things actually also contain all their objects. So we'll put that back there. I think, yeah, that one doesn't, but the rest of these do. Can't believe I still have room. So this is empty. This is all done. Ah, do need these. I'll leave that here. So now it's just a matter of grabbing this. No. There we go. These. And these. There's nothing else down here I need, is there? Nope. Excellent. We are ready to move. Now, where am I going to store everything? Yeah, let's start by getting all the moving boxes out. So now I need to think about where I'm going to have all my storage. Eventually, this room right here will be a room, for one thing, but it's also going to be kind of my primary workshop, and it's mostly going to be machines. So I think I might want my storage kind of under. So we'll make a little stairway down, like right here. Yeah. Something about like this. Go, go, cobalt hammer. Whoops. Oh. Guess we just got to the edge there. That's good. Now we have an idea of where that is. I think this should be good for now. Yeah, this will be good for now. Okay, let's get out all of our drawers. And we're going to decide where things are going to go. I think I'm going to have kind of my most important stuff right here in front of me. So let's go with, these are going to be like metals. Apparently iron's going to be right there. And we're probably going to be moving, shifting those things around a bit. But that's okay. That's a good start. Also want a crafting station down here somewhere. Actually, you know, I think I'm going to have some fun with that. I'm going to put a crafting station right there. And I might just kind of make a little nice pattern out of them. It's kind of cool. Yeah? No? Maybe? I don't know. Yeah, that's good. I actually have an idea for how to deal with this mess. I'm going to grab all the chests. And I'm probably going to have to come back and find something here in a second. But what we're going to do is make ourselves something called a drawer controller. We haven't made one of these yet. But these are really handy for a lot of different reasons. So we're going to need any kind of drawer. Redstone comparator. Quartz, redstone torch, some stone. Okay, here we go. A drawer controller. Now, drawer controllers are wonderful things. This drawer controller has a range, and it's plenty. I think it's 16 blocks or so, and any connected drawer within that distance, it can see. So if I have a bunch of random stuff, I'm just going to grab a few random items, and I walk up to this drawer controller. If I double right click, just like I would to put things back in their drawer, it puts away everything in my inventory that it can find a spot for. Just that quick and easy. Now, it won't fill in a blank slot. It has to have one already there if you do it that way. But you can also interact with it with other mods. So if you've got pipes or whatever running around your base, then no big deal. You can pump stuff into this and it will put things away, but it can actually also fill in empty slots. So we're going to be using that later. But for now, what I'm thinking is I can fill up my inventory, walk down here, double right click, and anything that there is a spot for, it'll dump it over there. Of course, nothing I had on me had a spot, but it's okay. We also haven't played with one of the other mods that's in here that I think it's probably time to dive into. And it's called iron chests. Now, iron chests have all these upgrades. And let's put in wood on here. And we can see that we can get a wood to iron chest upgrade. Or a wood to copper chest upgrade. We have piles of copper laying around. So let's do that. Now that's literally a plank with copper around it. Where's my copper? And let's make 2 of these. Now, point to any wood chest with this in hand, right click, and it becomes a copper chest. So this copper chest has 5 slots instead of 3, which a normal chest has. So we just massively increased the amount of space that we have available to us. Cool, huh? All right, now I noticed, yeah, here's the food chest. I'm going to move this one, because that one I want to leave in the food chest. And we're just going to stick it right there. Ah, and here's another little thing we can do while we're at it. So this is going to be where gold is. And by the way, I still have a block of gold. Double right click up there, block of gold goes there. Now you notice that it didn't put my copper in with this copper, because we have 2 different kinds of copper. Well, let's deal with that. This is called a conversion upgrade. 4 lapis, an upgrade template, and 4 sticks. Now, if I place that on this copper right there, now if I double right click, I'm going to put these down here so you can see them disappear. Ta-da! And now we have 10 blocks of copper, and they're all the same kind. Cool, huh? By the way, it automatically converts to whatever you put in there first. So if I wanted the other kind of copper, I'd have to get one of those, pull all these out, put the one in, and then put the other ones on top of it. We need to get cabling to bring power from here over to these guys. So let's get that figured out. Now there are several different mods with power transfer capability. We've got EnderIO's energy conduit, which requires some conductive iron or energetic alloy, which it turns out we have some of that, so that's good. There's also a 3rd tier, which is vibrant alloy. Conduit binder, which is clay, gravel, sand, super easy to make, and then you just have to cook it up. And the nice thing is you get 16 of these, but you need 6 for 8. It gets, math. Okay. The other options are extra utilities transfer nodes, which is very reasonable. Actually, that might be a better idea. I've never used these before, but the nice thing about extra utilities transfer nodes is they can be used, these transfer pipes. First of all, the pipes are really cheap. Stone slabs, glass, and redstone gives you 64 of them, which is really nice. That's kind of ridiculous. I'm okay with it. Then we have immersive-engineering's wiring system, which is the coolest looking one. So you can make these wires, and there's both insulated and uninsulated, and there you go. I've never played with those. I've seen them in operation on the streams that I do on Saturdays with the engineers, my patrons, and they look really cool, but I don't know much beyond that. We're going to play with XGutilities transfer nodes. The thing is, it's not going to cost anything. I mean, it's just ridiculously cheap. And I haven't played with them before, so we're going to do that. There we go. 64 transfer pipes, and then... Oh, and you only get one of them? I need 2, I think. Actually, I might need 3. Let's give it this a try and see. I don't know anything about this. So I know that one way or another, we're going to need... Oh, so I might not need one on here. I might only need one on that side. That would be good. And I think that's right here, right? Yep. Yeah, okay, so this doesn't connect. So we actually have to put the transfer node there. There we go. That's connected. Are we getting power? Oh, we don't have any capacitors in here. Okay, let's go get some of those. And I wanted to try out this kind versus this kind. That is filling very quickly. Oh, so this is max 22. Hang on, I'm going to pull that out. Put that back in, and this one says max 71. Interesting. This is max 60. So each one's a little bit different, it looks like. Huh. Okay. You remember how long it took to fill these up with the culinary generator? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And this right... No, not that. And this still has 15% in the buffer. Yeah, we're going to be fine on power. It's not going to be a problem. What do you say we have this thing grind up a little bit of copper? I just want to see how fast this is. Beautiful. Now that doesn't have any grinding balls in it. So actually I'm going to take that out for right now. Throw that in there. Awesome. I can handle that. By the way, having trouble finding gold in your world? Grab that huge surplus of copper you have, grind it down with some sort of grinding ball that has a bonus to secondary output, and you'll find yourself some gold dust. Okay, so now let's make ourselves an item transfer node, and I want to play with this. So this right here is currently configured to push out the top, but what I would like to do, I'd like to have it pull in from the left, push to the top. Certain items, I would like to have it pull out of here and put in there. So actually, I need a chest on top of that. Let's go ahead and set up what we had before downstairs, back at the village. And I'm going to set up a transfer node on this. Because I only want certain things to come in here. For example, I don't want sand. If I run this through, I don't want sand to be pulled in and then cooked into glass. And I don't want sand to be reground into silicon either. I actually want sand. I just want the sand. So, actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to have certain things. Let's move this. So I want those items to get pulled into here and then pushed up to there. And then some items, like cobblestone, I actually want to get transferred back into here to also be processed. Some I want to be pulled out of there to be cooked, and some I want to just stay in there. Oh, I just realized that's backward. This needs to transfer from there to there. Okay. So this right here, if you right-click on any of these transfer nodes, you get a space for a filter. Redstone, stick, and string. I'll take 2 of those. All right, now the way a filter works is you right-click in the air, and you can place items in here. And they're either a whitelist or a blacklist. Let's go ahead and pull these off for now, because I need everything to stop up. So let's place something in there I don't care a whole lot about, which would be copper. All right, I only got 1 cobblestone, but that's okay. So we're going to open up this filter, and we're going to put cobblestone in there. And this is a whitelist, so it's only going to pull that one, nothing else. So pull from there. Put the pipe on. And we're going to put this cobblestone filter in there. And now if we put the cobblestone in, it pulls it out and drops it over here. That was left. This copper was left over from when I didn't have a filter on there. So then once the cobblestone has processed, we get ourselves some gravel. I also want to be in this. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of the flint and put that in there as well, because I want the flint to pass through. And if we go and grab a whole bunch of cobblestone, we toss that in there, you can see it's pulling across the gravel, dropping it into here, and as soon as it gets through all this cobblestone, it's going to pull in the gravel. No, it's not, because I haven't actually set up a pull. But it's going to be pulling everything from here, so I'll just go ahead and manually place that in. There we go. So there's the flint. That gets pulled up here, placed back down here, and then we'll get pulled in automatically. A beauty. This to pull, so it should starting with coal. Now, so far, I don't have anything in here that I actually want to pull across to here. Here we go. Nickel and iron I want in the whitelist. Okay, transfer node. Let's get the filter in here first. Of course, it already grabbed some sand. And then let's put the transfer pipe on there. That pulls in iron and starts cooking it up. I'm just going to go over here. Ah, this is beautiful. All right. I think that's pretty much the setup until I start wanting to do, like, pulling out certain items into another chest or something like that. Now, one thing about iron chests is that if we start seeing one of these start to fill up, we can just walk over here with an upgrade. And there's upgrades way beyond copper. Copper is basically the very base upgrade. So we'll be able to go quite a long time on, you know, just having a single chest in each one of these positions. Well, that made fairly quick work of that chest. I got a lot of stuff in here. I'm realizing I need to upgrade my chest. So I thought, let me go and take a look at what Iron Chest has to offer. Now, Iron Chest has a lot of different things with colored shulker boxes. And of course, we can't do shulker boxes quite yet. So, minus shulk. And that takes out all the shulker boxes. Just a quick little search tip there. The main options we have are iron, gold, diamond, copper, and silver. Now, silver we don't use for much of anything. So I'm thinking I want to do silver. Now I can upgrade in place by going, let's see, I can go wood to iron, I can go copper to silver, so I can go copper to silver, silver to gold, or I can make a silver chest. So I'm either going to have to go iron to copper, or sorry, wood to copper and then copper to silver, or I'm just going to have to make a silver chest outright, which takes a copper chest to make anyway. So what do you say we just make a copper upgrade and then make a silver upgrade? So here's my wood to copper. All right. Iron to copper. Copper to silver. Yeah, there's a lot of space in these. It's great. Okay, I think we've gotten a lot done today. This is great. I'm going to be doing some reorganization. I also noticed, by the way, we're almost out of power here on the grinder, and we definitely ran through what we had over here. So we need to start this up again and let it churn through, maybe get the energy up there. We're also going to be working on an automated system that will turn this thing off when it's over a certain level and then turn it on again when it's below that level. But for right now, I'm just going to manually turn it on here and there. It's not that big of a deal, especially with only 2 machines. If I let this thing get up to 75% and then turn it off, that'll run a long time. So I'm not too worried about it. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to worry about getting it up to 75%. I'm just going to shut it down right there, right now, because we have run out of time. It's always fun, guys. I'm really looking forward to coming back and continuing to work on our brand new awesome castle thing. Now everybody's going to want me to call it the ACT. I'm horrible at naming things. That's just what it is. You guys help me out with a name. Anvil base. I know that this shape is called kind of an anvil shape. Let's take a look at it. See, this is kind of an anvil. It looks like a hammerhead. Or it looks like a hammer. Doesn't it? It does. It looks like a hammer. That's pretty cool. So maybe it needs to be hammer rock. That's pretty good. And isn't that okay? You guys come up with a better name than hammer rock fortress. Sounds manly. I don't know. Does it? Let's see. From here, doesn't really look like anything, but I'm thinking I'm going to kind of build it fairly tall. I'm going to build down into the rock. I'm going to have some fun with it. I think it'll be good. So let me know what you think. Make sure and make a comment of some kind. Tell me good, bad, or indifferent what you think. And don't forget to brush your teeth 17 times a day. Yeah, because that's a good idea. And drink water, get exercise, and watch lots of epiktek. Okay. I'll see you next time on that thing I just said. Epiktek. It's the thing because I had just said. Yeah. Apparently I'm also not good at ending episodes.